pretty if you're going to be the Hollywood guy. So I completely understand that. But looking back on it, the fact that they would put me in with him first, I mean, that's huge honor. Huge honor. So if I can look back at some of the things that happened back then, I just sit in awe that I was actually in that position and they let it happen.
Goldberg, you've had to be tough in the ring, but when's the last time you had a really good cry?
Oh shoot, I do that all the time, man, all the time. Anytime I'm trying to get my son to listen to what I'm doing and he doesn't, or you know, something wrong's happening when he's sparring and, you know, I can't help it. But hey, the reality is you're only a good character if you show range. So as much as I can kill people, I can sure empathize with people in situations where, hey man, I'm an animal lover too. I mean, I definitely have a sensitive side. Wow.
1 second, guys.
Tell me where.
Matches in the video game, which match would you want to relive of your entire career?
Me and Brock again, because you know it was under a circumstance where we couldn't win. People knew we were leaving. They crapped on the match, and I mean it was tough for both of us to be able to perform at the top of our game. So that one first and foremost.
Bill, so many WWE superstars and pro wrestlers across the globe are making a transition into MMA, mixed martial arts, and UFC particularly. If you had the chance to do that in the heyday of your career, would you made that move?
I would have done it in a heartbeat, way before I would have done the WWE if the money was viable. The money was not viable then, and the reality is I retired from the NFL with a torn pelvis off, with a torn abdomen off of my pelvis. So thinking that I could get into true athletic competition at that level, I don't know, is a pretty much of a stretch, but I would have seriously considered it.
But you follow the sport. Who do you fancy tomorrow night, Conor McGregor or Nate Diaz?
Oh, I want Nate to rip his head off again. You know, I'm a fan of the business, but I mean, and I'm a fan of Conor in that he knows how to get under people's skin. He knows how to sell fights, but there's certain things that he does that are disrespectful at the end of the day to the true martial artist. And whether that's part of his gimmick or not, I'm not a fan of it.
Bill, when Conor made his recent comments about WWE and wrestlers, what did you make of that? Because some wrestlers were very offended, some just kind of laughed it off. How did you feel about what he said?
Well, first and foremost, he's just trying to get publicity. Like I said on Twitter, the little guy wants some attention. And, you know, it's another way that he's probably selling his fight. But all I can tell you is when I was back in the business, if he would have said that, there would have been a number of guys leaving him in a pool of blood. Because some of the guys that I tangled with and some of the guys who taught me what I know were not guys to mess around with. And I personally believe that there's probably some guys now that could do it, but they've just chosen professional wrestling to be their endeavor. Just because they're not doing it doesn't mean they couldn't be good at it.
Excuse me really quick. Can everybody just take one step back? Thank you very much.